You hear me?
Yes.
Ah, now you're on the right one. Whatever it was, now it's fine.
Yes. Okay. Nice for me too.
Thank you.
So, how are you?
Absolutely fine, but I must confess, I have made so many interviews in the last day that it's really taking energy from you. I love it. I love speaking with people a lot. But whenever I look out of the window, it's already dark outside. It's not yet, but when I'm finished, it's going to be dark as well. So I have not really seen sunlight in the last 3 days.
Here too, it's dark. It's raining.
What?
A lot
It's
of
raining?
rain. Yes.
Here too. I hate it. Everybody hates it, but it's necessary.
Yes.
From where do you call? Where do you live?
Near Paris.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. We will be there in 3 weeks.
Yes. Me too.
Oh, wonderful. Totally looking forward to that. Wonderful.
With Warkings.
Yes, yes. And the strange thing is, I live here in Saarland, in Germany, maybe 45 minutes from Saarbrück, and it's very close to France, and I have never played France in all of my life, so we're totally looking forward to finally coming to France.
Oh, it will be the first time.
Yes, absolutely. And we will play Dijon Rising Fest in, I think, October, so it's going to be 2 French shows this year, finally.
The release is close of the
Yes.
album. How do you feel about that?
The strange thing is, when you do albums and when you go on tour, you don't do much music before you go on tour. Everybody thinks you will practice all the time, but there is so much other things to do, things to remember, to plan, technical things. Organizational things, and the same when it comes to the new album. I mean, I know that the album will be out in 1 week, but it's absolutely unreal because you have so many things to do, and then one of a sudden the album will be out, and of course it's always very interesting when an album comes out. How will the people react? Will the people like the album? And all that, and how much will we be in the charts, for example. It's interesting as well. But we are very happy with the album, and I think that's probably the most important thing about it. We really like the album very much.
Yes. It's a story like the other ones.
Yes.
It follows the other album.
Yeah, loosely as always. When I did interviews for this album, somebody said it's not a concept album, but it is a themed album. I learned this word. I had never heard of that before, and I think that's perfect because when you have a concept album, you tell a story from start to finish, and the songs have to be in the order of the story. When you do a themed album, you can just have the songs in the order that you would like, and the stories are always separate, and you can tell them in whatever direction you want to go. And this time, when we have the album König und Kaiser, it's obvious that the king is not only a king, but now he's also an emperor, which means he has been given more power than ever before. And when a king and an emperor have more power, they want to go out and conquer the world, which is interesting because we will be on tour and we go to different countries and we will conquer the countries by playing music, of course. So I think it's nice to see that there is a link to real life with a story, and that's what the album is about.
Yes. I love the little cartoon you make.
Thank you. That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear. That is something that we wanted to do because I am taking part in a podcast show called Métal, and there is a woman around that show. She does all the visual things, and for Christmas they had a sort of a cartoon Christmas story, and when I saw that, I thought, her name is Tiana, I thought she would be the right one to ask if she can make a small sort of cartoon with Hammer King. And then when we did the title track König und Kaiser, we shot a video in Austria, and it has a certain story, and so we thought it would be very interesting to use the comic to build up the story before the video really comes out. So it's something very interesting, I think, and it was wonderful working with her. She was very, very helpful and very, very dedicated, actually. So I think it turned out really nice, and in the end I hope that people will understand that this is the story that builds up the story of the video, and I think it's very helpful, actually, and I like it. It looks fantastic. We all have muscles. We look so powerful. It's fantastic.
And it's to announce the third video.
Yeah. So next Tuesday, it is, I think, the 19th, if I'm right. It might be the 19th. There will be the final part of the cartoon. And on the same day, we will have the video. Maybe the cartoon is going to be in the morning, and the video is coming out in the early afternoon, hopefully. So there will be a continuation from the cartoon into the video, and that will be the third single, the title track of the album. And it's coming out 2 days before we go on tour, and 3 days before the album comes out. So thing after thing is happening at the moment. It's quite a lot, actually.
Yes. So you told me this. You have the universe, and inside the songs. How can you define your universe?
I think that I said that in an interview some days ago. The interesting thing with having a sort of storyline or universe around your band is that you can start at a certain point and you just can keep developing it further and further on all the time. So it's not necessarily, you don't have to know all the details when you start. You just find new ones. I mean, when we did the Hammer King, the first Hammer King album, the second one was about the battles and the fights. The third one was about the seafarings, the sailing stories of the king. Then in Kingdomonium, the kingdom was attacked from the outside, and so there's always a new chapter that comes around. And in this case, with this album, we had the song that turned out to be König und Kaiser by coincidence. It was just creativity, and after a while, we had a song with that title without planning it. And then, of course, we knew this would be the next chapter of the Hammer King saga, to tell about the king also being an emperor, and then going out into the world, conquering other countries, going to Arabia, where he meets the kings of Arabia, who are on the album, and then returning to Atlantis, which we had not visited since the 21 album. So we return to Atlantis as well, and have a second part of the song from the 2021 album. So I think you never know where to go next. Maybe I always think, I'm a James Bond fan, and we remember when James Bond went into space with Moonraker, which was absolutely ridiculous, but it was very entertaining. So maybe one day we will have Space King, whatever, and take the king into space. You never know. You can do anything. Maybe an album about time traveling, that would be possible as well. So there's plenty of things that the king can still do.
Yes. Ridiculous, but it works.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect.
And about the artwork, it's always the same designer.
Yeah. Since the 2021 album, we've worked with Peter Schalai from Hungary. He's for us, he's perfect, because, I mean, we are musicians. We do not necessarily have precise visual ideas, which means that usually we contact Peter and say, hey, Peter, what do you think? We might have an album, König und Kaiser. The king is also an emperor. Do you have an idea? And Peter said, yeah, of course, I have an idea. I will combine the brutal hammer with the noble and royal robe. I said, okay, let's see that. And he sent us the artwork, and it was fantastic right from the beginning. I don't think that we changed anything. No, I don't think. For the first time ever, we did not change a single thing about an artwork, nothing. So that was really very fantastic. Yeah, we changed the flames of the hammer because it didn't look well with the logo. That was the only thing, but the rest is absolutely unchanged. And so it was... We did not have much time for the album, but everything really fell into place and everything worked very well. So I think it was meant to happen this time. It was really very good. The artwork was fantastic. The sound another thing, when Jakob Hansen sent us the mix from the album, we did not really change a thing. Usually we are a horrible band when it comes to mixing, because we need this louder and this has to be more, you have to make this louder and this to the left and this to the right. We are absolutely horrible when it comes to those things. And this time, when Jakob sent the files over, there was basically nothing to do. So we are in a very lucky position that everything really happened very quickly this time. Oh, why not? Next time it's going to be horrible, I know, but this time it was fantastic.
The title track, in my opinion, is a little different from the other song, and some word in German also.
Yeah.
Why?
Creativity.
Between German.
Creativity or coincidence. There was it's not really a concept behind it. I remember we worked on this song and it was supposed to be called Infinite King. I mean, Infinite King is something big as well, but it's not as big as König and Kaiser. And we didn't find a vocal melody for the chorus. So I remember driving on the highway in my car, and maybe 15 minutes before I got to the rehearsal room, I finally had an idea that worked. And I did not have a recording device, so I had to keep singing for 15 minutes so that I would not forget about it. And for no reason, I really sang German words, which I never do. I always sing in English, but I had German words. And so I came to the rehearsal room and I recorded it. And our drummer Dolph would be the next to come. And I tried to get an meaningful English phrases for the chorus, because I didn't want to show him a German version. And whenever I took the German words out and replaced them with English words, the song sounded smaller, for whatever reason. And so I showed him the German version. I said, I'm sorry, it's German. I don't find anything good in English. And he listened to the track and he said, you know what, I think it is interesting. You should keep it in German. And then we had this line, dieses Land braucht ihn, Infinite King. This country needs him, Infinite King, because the word Infinite King was already there. And I said, it's horrible, you cannot do that. And he said, well, there is a king that the country could need, and that would be the Hammer King, of course. And I said, yes, good point. Why not? We should try to keep that. And there was the German word Kaiser somewhere in the middle of the chorus. And I mean, if you're a German speaker, you know that the word Kaiser is so big and so classic compared to the English word emperor, so that we knew we would like to keep the Kaiser in the song. But you cannot sing Hammer Kaiser, that's ridiculous. And then Dolph said, Dolph's father was a history teacher, and he said there have been people who were king and emperor at the same time, which I had not known. And so he said, why don't you just sing König und Kaiser? I thought, that's not a bad idea, it sounds very classic. And then we kept it, and we wanted to have the Tribune on the album, so we asked him, would you like to sing on a song of ours, which would be nice, because we will be on tour together. And he agreed, so we had the Tribune contribute to the album. And we thought that this song would be interesting, because it's different. And so we asked him, he did it, and therefore it became maybe one of the most special songs on the album. So somebody in the band said, this should be the title track. And I know that Napalm Records do not really want an English-speaking band having a German album title. I asked them, and they agreed. So for whatever reason, it was, I don't know if you know him, our product manager is Meek, the vocalist from Visions of Atlantis. Yes. And he is Italian, so he said, for me as an Italian, I like the sound of it, so I will ask the rest in the company if they are fine with it, and they agreed, and therefore we had a German album title. And half of the song is in English, because basically the song, all our songs are in English, but the chorus parts, for whatever reason, are German this time, so we have a mixed song for the first time ever. Well,
it works.
Yeah, I think so, thank you.
I like it.
Me too. I think it's really interesting, but I always say that it's very hard to sing in German. Yes. It's not the highest song on the album, but it's the most complicated song to sing, because when you sing König, that's a sound that you usually do not sing when you sing in English. So it's very much more complicated for me to sing the German song in compared to all the English songs.
Yes, for the higher world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. it's different. Yeah.
I understand. So once again, you recorded at the Grey Wolf studio. Do you think to change one day? No.
I mean, you never say never. To quote James Bond again, I don't know. I mean, it's you never know. But for this moment, we've recorded 6 albums with Charles in his studios, and coming to a studio is a bit like coming home. It is a bit like going to your favorite vacation. It's going to a military drill camp at the same time, because it's hard work actually. But I think that the combination of Charles with me, especially, I cannot speak for the other guys, but I can speak for myself. Charles and I really work well together. There's a very good chemistry. We share the production responsibilities. He brings in ideas, I bring in ideas. And I mean, he's very, very good when it comes to recording. So if you record for 7 hours, or sometimes when we record the choirs, we work for over 10 hours straight without an interruption. And at the end of the 10 hours, he is still very concentrated, and you have no chance to make a mistake because he hears everything. So you have to do your job very well, and that is something that I really like, because we do not want to fix vocals with the computer. We have to sing them as they are. They have to be sung well, and with Charles, that's very, very easy. It's wonderful working with him. And I mean, other than the 3 original members in the band, he is the only other guy that has been around ever since we started Hammer King. Everybody else has changed, but Charles has been there all the time, and we trust him, absolutely. So I don't think that we will change.
He makes the job.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And what I always find interesting is Powerwolf are a very big band now, but he's a very, very down-to-earth guy, and it's something that I really respect a lot.
About the cartoon, do you think maybe one day a bigger comics? Maybe.
I don't know, maybe. What we thought in the band could be interesting. So maybe when it comes to the summer festivals, we could probably release another video for the album. It's meant to be 3 videos, but we could do 4. And maybe we should have like an animated comic cartoon video for the 4th song. That would be something that we would like to see, because it's very interesting to see what other people make us look like, and what story you could come up with. I mean, I think that Gino should be able to fly, for example. So that would be very nice. So let's see what happens. I think we are very open to that, because we enjoy seeing what happens.
Do you already have ideas for the next one?
Next video or next album?
Next album.
Oh, no. No, which means yes, maybe. We do not want to record an album very soon. So nevertheless, I have already collected some ideas. I mean, yesterday I had some ideas. The day before there was something. Whenever I think I have an idea, I get this guitar. It's a very cheap guitar, and just acoustic guitar, and just play it, record it on a cheap microphone. So just like when you scribble a little notice on a piece of paper, it's not really a painting. It's just for remembering. And I started collecting ideas, but I do not feel the urge to write another album now. We would like to play live as much as possible. We have a booking agency now. We are with Extra Tours, so we want to play live. If it's up to us, there should be another tour in autumn. That would be our dream, to go out and play a 2nd tour this year. So let's play live, and then really build up the band, and then do another album. Not now.
How do you prepare for a show?
For a show?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a question nobody has asked before. That's interesting. If the world is a good place, there is time to relax, some wonderful food to eat, and then you could probably stand in a room and warm up your voice, and go out on stage relaxed and fully prepared and deliver a fantastic show. In reality, it's totally different. Usually there's lots of stress going on all the time. You don't have a room to sing at all because you're standing in a room with all the other guys at the same time. And so over the years, I think I've totally adapted to that. So whenever, I think an hour before the show or so, we start putting on the costumes and getting that bit of makeup right, and taking care of the hair, of course, that's important, and checking the technical things. And then if you're lucky, you can sing 2 or 3 lines to warm up, but most of the time it's just you go out and just start singing, and it works. I mean, Biff from Saxon has said the same, and for most singers it is the ideal thing to warm up. But basically, you don't have the time because there's so much other things to do, and so it's no real preparation. Just try to be relaxed, try to be calm, and I mean, you're always nervous. That's necessary. If you're not nervous, you cannot unleash the energy. But don't worry. I think that probably don't worry is the one thing that you always should try to realize. Never worry, go on stage. It is your music. Nobody sings me better than I do. There is no one who can be myself. So I am myself, and there is no chance that it will fail. So anyway.
So we can see you soon in France?
Yes, absolutely. I think it is the 5th of April, yes, I think.
5th. Yes.
And I will try to find enough time to prepare speaking French on stage. That would be my wish. I hope I can do it. I was good in French, yes, more than 20 years ago at school, but I have tous les mots sont perdus, hein? And so I have to train back. But I always had the dream because France is so close to here. So I always thought when we will play France, I should be able to at least say something better than Bonsoir Paris, so something more than that. So I try to do that. I hope there will be time enough to really do it, because I do not want to read it from a paper. I should be able to deliver it from heart. So I think it will work. I hope so. That will make me absolutely nervous. That's the only part I will worry about. Will I remember the French words? So hopefully it will work. Forgive me if it doesn't work.
Like me, I studied German at school, but a long time ago.
Très bien, je parle français und du redest Deutsch.
Ambition.
Très bien, très bien. Yeah. The problem is, I mean, you can always remember the very simple things, but when it comes to something like I would like, je voudrais, but other than that, the grammar is all gone. It's too far away, and let's see what happens. I still think I can do that, and I have a French friend who helped me with correcting whatever I thought was right and everything was wrong. So she corrected that, and I hope it will work, because I always think when you remember, there is a German band called Fanden Plus. They come from Kaiserslautern. And Andy, the vocalist, a friend of mine, his French is very, very good, very okay. And they did their first album, their first live album. It was called Spirit of Life, and I think it was it recorded at Moulin Rouge? It was recorded. Yeah, that's right. That's the one. They recorded it there, and Andy would speak. I think 50% of what he said that night was French. And I always thought that's a very nice gesture, being the neighbor country, to come over and speak some French on stage. And that's what André Matos from Angra used to do. He was fluent speaking French. I mean, that was very good. And so I always thought that is what I expect from me, to be able to do that. But as always, when a tour comes up, there's gazillions of things to do, and so many things that you would like to do basically don't happen. I mean, I had ideas for show ideas on stage. It's just impossible to do it. You have to build it up over the course of years. So I still think the French might be possible.
Okay, I will see.
Bonne chance, hein? I hope so.
Thank you very much. If you have something else to add?
I definitely, honestly say we're very, very happy to be able to come to France. And it's very special for us because we have tried for many years and it never worked. There was one show that we could have played, but we had another show the same day, so we couldn't do it. And going to France after all the years and then starting in Paris, that is something very, very nice for us. And then coming back to Dijon later in the year. So we're very much looking forward to that. And I think you have been the fourth or fifth interview that I did with somebody from France this time, which is very nice because usually it's not much French press.
Yeah.
So this time there is more, and we're very much happy about that. So I think it's time for us to come to France, and we're very much looking forward to that.
Yes. I will be happy to see you also.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Absolutely looking forward to that. Make sure to come to the merchandise stand and say hello.
Of course. Of course.
In German.
I will try.
Okay, and I will try to speak French. So we have a deal.
Yes. So thank you very much and see you in
2 weeks. Absolutely. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.